This week we start reading Chumash Bamidbar. Bamidbar means in the desert. Chumash Bamidbar is also known as the Book of Numbers, Chumash Apkudim, and the reason being is because there is a census that takes place in the beginning of the parsha, where Moshe Rabbeinu is commanded to take the leaders of the 12 tribes, call them by name, elevate their status by giving them the responsibility to not only count their individual tribes, but also to be around while the other tribes are counted. So let's understand the uniqueness of this particular count, because we do know that the Jewish people were counted a few times. They were counted before they went to Mitzrayim, they were counted as they left Mitzrayim, they're counted over here, and then we find further on that they're counted multiple more times until they came to the land of Israel by David HaMelech, and then even to the time of Ezra. So what's unique about this particular counting? Rashi says that Hashem counted the Jewish people because he wanted to show their preciousness in his eyes, and furthermore, by giving them a number, counting them, they have this uniqueness that they cannot become nullified. As we know that Davar Shebeminyan Einu Batal, something that's counted and it has its own unique identity, it will not become nullified. So therefore they were counted in this parsha. What's unique about this counting is we find that each individual tribe was counted and listed in the Torah, focusing on their unique path that they had in serving Hashem. In the previous counts, the Jewish people were counted as part of the population, the total number of Jewish people that either went to Mitzrayim, came out of Mitzrayim, the total population. Over here, the focus is on counting on each individual and bringing out its own unique, distinctive way of serving Hashem and the beauty of that path. But we do find that these leaders also partook in the counting of the other tribes to show this idea that even though every individual has his unique path of serving Hashem, he always has to remember and being reminded of the fact that he's part of the total completion of the Jewish people, and he brings to the completion of the numbers of the Jewish people. And they were reminded this by having the leaders of the other tribes also being part of their counting for the tribes, that even though these leaders weren't the leaders particularly of these tribes. Because we do know that when it comes to counting the Jewish people, you could have Moshe Rabbeinu, you could have Aaron, people who had something in common with all the Jewish people. But what were they bringing to the table by showing up these leaders from the other tribes when it came to a tribe that they were not part of? What can they really clarify? So it's explained that what they were clarifying, or what they were reminding the Jewish people, were that even though they belong to a different tribe, you have to remember we're part of this one complete entity of the Jewish people. And it's powerful for us to remember that each one of us has our own individual way of serving Hashem. And just like these leaders, they took their own responsibility, the way they had it, to ensure that they were serving Hashem in their own way, and their tribes were serving Hashem in their own unique path. Nevertheless, they were responsible also for their fellow Yid's path and making sure that he's serving Hashem in the right way. So the lesson for us from this counting is we have to remember always that each one of us has our own individual way of serving Hashem, but at the same time we cannot forget about our fellow Yidden, because we are all part of one body, and in order to have the complete wholeness of the Jewish people, you have to have both the individual and everyone together.